Their effort to replace a secular pluralistic society with a religious elitist society was an invitation to those people who believe in the value of a secular pluralistic society, to those people who believe in the value of freedoms and rights, to take the culture war that Christians are so fond of saying they are waging, to their home turf, to come on into their churches and respectfully and calmly question their claims of an ability to know something more than next to nothing about almost everything. Because you see, their entire discovery religion is built upon a lie. The lie is these pessimistic myths are truths. Myths are both unverifiable and unfalsifiable. Truths are verifiable. So they are lying when they say that ideas that are unverifiable and unfalsifiable are verifiable. Now they may tell you that I know these myths are true because it says so in their Bible. How do we respond to that? How do you respond to something like that? The proper response is, and how do you know that the Bible says this? What are we pointing back to when we say that to them? They know that the Bible says this because it doesn't matter what verse they might quote or whatever. They know about the existence of the verse because they either heard it said with their ears or they saw it with their own eyes when they read the Bible. So in other words, they used their senses and perceptions. To bring them back to that they know of the Bible by use of their senses and perceptions. As soon as you bring them back to that, then point out the limitations of their senses and perceptions. Our seed bodies make senses and perceptions available to us. Our senses and perceptions enable us. We are able to navigate about our habitats, orient ourselves towards existence, and explain existence to ourselves to some degree. But beyond our ability to conduct the business of creating, surviving, perfecting, and reviving within our body-consuming biosphere, within our habitat, our senses are extremely limited. Our senses and perceptions are limited by the attributes of our seed bodies. The attributes of our seed bodies are seed bodies have a quantity of energy. The quantity of energy inherent within our seed bodies is finite. The quality of space inherent in our seed bodies is fractal. The longevity of time inherent within our seed bodies is infernal temporal. And the value of denominator inherent within our seed bodies is infinite. So the attributes of our seed bodies limit our senses and perceptions, and for that reason, truths are rare and myths are infinitely abundant. And claiming that a myth is a truth is a lie. Lies are verifiable. We can use our senses and perceptions. We can verify a lie is false. Truths are verifiable. We can use our senses and perceptions. We can verify truths are true. Myths are neither verifiable nor falsifiable. We can use our senses and perceptions, but we cannot verify whether or not a myth is true. We can use our senses and perceptions, but we cannot verify whether or not a myth is false. Myths are both unverifiable and unfalsifiable. They are possibilities. So when they come in with you that these myths are truths, they're lying. And so when they decided it would be a great idea if we get rid of this separation between church and state, when we get rid of this right that we have in this country of freedom of religion and freedom from religion, you may either partake of religion if you like or not partake of religion if you like. When they came to the conclusion that this would be a good thing to get rid of, that was our invitation. That was our invitation. They were inviting us. They were inviting people who believe in the value of a secular pluralistic. They were inviting people who believe in the value of a secular pluralistic society to take the culture war they're so fond of saying they're waging. Take the culture war that they are so fond of saying they're waging to their home turf.